And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Tomorrow morning's flying weather showing good VFR here over interior Alaska, right on down into the eastern and part of the northern Bering Sea here. Some marginal VFR, that disturbance coming down from the north, keeping lower conditions in along the Arctic coast here, Chukchi Sea, coastline of the Seward Peninsula into Norton Sound, and to St. Lawrence Island. Then a big area of IFR here over the Bering Sea with the next storm coming in and spreading marginal VFR into the Pribilofs and across eastern Aleutians and southeast coast. VFR for the afternoon. VFR for the Panhandle. IFR now in the Gulf of Alaska, leaving the North Gulf Coast in the VFR zone. And that covers all of interior Alaska here, right on up to the Arctic coast. Still some lower conditions around St. Lawrence Island through the Bering Strait. And then big area of IFR here continues and slowly moving eastward. Not too much, so we've got it trying to get in toward Falls Pass, but not quite making it there. And then looking at the Saturday morning time frame, kind of holding out here. IFR, Bering Sea down to Adak, Atka, eastward to about Nikolsky, improving a little bit here for Unalaska Island. Marginal VFR there with marginal VFR up to about Nelson Lagoon, Sand Point on the Alaska Peninsula. VFR now again, St. Lawrence Island, Nunivak Island, right into Bristol Bay, the interior under high pressure, good VFR, Arctic coast to the North Gulf Coast, and the Panhandle, good VFR as well. And then for Saturday afternoon, again, no change VFR here for all of interior Alaska, down across the southeast coast, Kodiak Island, northeast Bristol Bay, up to the Arctic coast. Now we've got some lower conditions pressing in toward the coastline there as snow pushes in to the southwest coast. That'd be in the afternoon hours there. Marginal VFR for the Alaska Peninsula, IFR, eastern Aleutians, and then better conditions out to the west. Passes Anatuvik and Adigan looking good for the day tomorrow. VFR through both passes there. And the Alaska Range as well, looking really good. Lake Clark and Merrill, ceilings visibilities unlimited. Kavu conditions also for rainy, windy VFR. Isabel VFR, Mintasta VFR, as well as Tanita. And Portage VFR, Chilkoot and White, same forecast, VFR. Freezing levels here at the surface all the way down, some off the chart here with that strong northerly flow, and even south of Dixon entrance for tomorrow morning. Warmer air out here with southerly flow, 8,000 feet right into the southern Bering Sea. And icing with that system coming in, we've got a big area of considerable moderate rime icing on Alaska Island to the Alaska Peninsula, right up across the Pribilofs, getting quite close there to both St. Lawrence Island and Nunivak Island, but staying off the southwest coast, at least through tomorrow. And no other icing of any significance around the state. So looking at the 33,000 foot winds, north-northwest, 145 knots right across the Kuskokwim Valley, western Alaska Range, southern Cook Inlet, Kodiak Island there. Lighter to the east, this trough low pressure slowly shifting eastward here, so light winds over the Panhandle at this elevation. Ridge of high pressure here over the eastern Bering Sea. On the other side of that south-southwest flow, again pulling that warmer air as we saw on the freezing level map northward here, 100 to 120 knots there. And for 9,000 feet, we've got northeast winds, 55 knots across southern Alaska here down into Kodiak Island, northeast Bristol Bay. High pressure, light winds here right along the west coast and the eastern Bering Sea, followed by southwest winds, couple of bands here. One just west of the high center and 40 knotters out over the western Bering Sea. Light winds for the Panhandle, North Gulf Coast, and not too bad for the Arctic coast as well. High pressure at 3,000 feet here, keeping winds light and variable over the northern interior areas. Northeast winds 45 to 50 knots here, south central Alaska and the southwest interior, turning more northerly at 45 knots, Kodiak Island. And then 35 knot winds out of the northeast here for the northern Panhandle. Out to the west, stronger winds there, anywhere from 30 to 35 knots eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, and then 55 knots there blowing across the Pribilof Islands. Taking a look at turbulence, light to Haisley, moderate chop, or turbulence, if you may. St. Matthew Island, Pribilof Islands, light to isolated, moderate, and considerable moderate for Unalaska Island to the western Alaska Peninsula. Areas of moderate turbulence here for southern Alaska, mostly over the mountainous terrain here down to the east side of Kodiak Island, northeast Bristol Bay, as well as areas from about Yakutat in across Lynn Canal and Glacier Bay.